Nktv.
A lot of people really want to be vulnerable and talk about sometimes a lot of hard things that they might have went through. So when it comes to other people reviewing your work and they don't see maybe the angle that you're trying to get at, like I know somebody like in high school, they talked about.
Hey beautiful kings and queens, welcome back to Nktv, and if you're new, comment this emoji so we know you're new to the Nktv fan. For today's video, I have two special ladies with me to discuss college advice and just growing up advice in general. So you're going to say your names, what school you go to, and your age.
I'm Rebecca. I go to Harvard and I am 19.
I'm Gabby. I go to University of Virginia and I am 18.
The first topic we're going to discuss is the application process and like the transition from high school to college. So
I'm a very bad procrastinator, so I waited until like the very last day to apply to schools. Like I think that you should definitely like try to give yourself enough time to apply so that you can like run your essays and like your extracurricular, like the way that you set up your application, you should like try to run it by other people and see.
Try and really meet your deadlines and not to stress yourself out, because you will have a lot of other stuff going on, but that's not an excuse to keep you from applying to college. And another thing, when it comes to like your main essay for, what is it, the Common App essay?
Yeah.
Me personally, I had no idea what I was gonna write. I had no direction, but thankfully like I had a seminar class and she made us write one. So I thought I wasn't really putting that much effort. I was just gonna turn it in, just get the A and go. But in the middle of the night, like I had this inspiration. It was like 2 in the morning. I got off of work and I was like, nah. So I wrote a whole essay, and it was only like a small part of what came to be my essay, but like, just trust the process.
Yeah, no, like the instinctual like gut feeling that you get about an essay is like probably like the best thing to go with. Like don't try to like force it or like try to make yourself like seem like somebody that you're not. Most of the time, like if you're writing something from like the heart, people will like notice that. And yeah, they'll gravitate towards that. I feel like a lot of people like try to like
they try to exaggerate.
Yes.
Or they really try to lie, and
yeah,
I'm not gonna say it's wrong to sprinkle,
I'm right here.
but it's really not like, it's really not the fault of like college applicants. It's really the fault of colleges, because colleges make it hard, like, because most of the time they're selecting based off of the essay, so people like, they put a lot of pressure on us to like create like the best essay ever, and then you gotta like, sometimes you gotta embellish and like lie to make yourself feel better.
I didn't necessarily lie in my essay. What I did, okay, I lied. But it was like I told a story, but I had like a different, what's the word,
perspective.
Yeah, so I talked about my hair. As you can see, this ain't my hair, but I talked about like my natural hair journey, referencing to like my actual like personal growth. And at first, like I wrote the essay about like, I wrote it twice. I thought it was good. I sent it out the second time. People told me it wasn't good. I changed it. And it's like being able to take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, your pride can't be so like high when it comes to like getting advice from people. Like, I can tell you to get advice from someone, but if you're gonna ask for the advice and not take it, I mean, there's certain advice that you can't take. Like I had someone modify my essay for Howard, and oof.
Yeah, I was gonna say like sometimes some people don't see the vision, and you don't have to like listen to everybody, because if you feel like you're definitely, this is something that you definitely want to do, you should do it. But like if it's constructive criticism, then like you should definitely take it. But sometimes you just have that gut feeling and you should go with it.
I think the hardest part is that when it comes to applying for the college essays, a lot of people really want to be vulnerable and talk about sometimes a lot of hard things that they might have went through. So when it comes to other people reviewing your work and they don't see maybe the angle that you're trying to get at, like I know somebody like in high school, they talked about something that was like really devastating to them, and it really like changed their whole mindset. But the lady that she went to literally attacked her whole essay, said it was trash, and it's like, that's something that has affected you for this long. So go to people who will help you, but they won't tear you down in the process.
Yeah, that's good advice.
How do y'all feel about high school counselors in that process?
High school counselors are overworked, overwhelmed. They got too many kids on their docket. Like, I feel like they mean well, but they like have a lot on their plate. So maybe you should like run it by a high school counselor, but like maybe not put too much like weight in like what they're saying, and like try to go to like teachers who know you well, and like can like give you some really good constructive feedback where they actually like put some thought into it and actually care about like your future. Not saying that guidance counselors don't. I just feel like most of the time they're like getting requests from like a lot of students, and it might be overwhelming.
So it's like
yeah, those letters of recommendation, get them in early, because I know my counselor was fed up with me, but he liked me, so he was willing to like go the extra mile. But I really did wait so long, and it was really cutting it. So I'm thankful for them that they were able to do that.
Also, ask for a second PDF copy, because what ended up happening was that right after like I got certain letters back from certain schools, it was that time where they were due. And also, that's another thing, apply to as many schools as you can, because if I mean now I'm going to a school that's like close to home, but I applied to schools in Florida, Georgia, and at the same time, like say I did change my mind later on, like I would have regretted not applying. So the next topic we're going to discuss is scholarships.
I didn't apply to one. That was a big mistake. I feel like you should definitely apply to scholarships. First of all, I kind of didn't know where to look, but that's because I kind of overwhelmed, and then like that was the same time that like it was senior year and there was a lot of AP classes, and I was just kind of overwhelmed with everything. So I didn't take scholarships seriously, but like if I didn't like have a good financial aid package at my school, I would be screwed. So like just in case, you should definitely like apply to scholarships. So I can't speak much to the application process, but
I feel like confidence also falls behind the whole scholarship thing. Even speaking like for myself, like I only applied to like 4 or 5, but at the same time, like the confidence that was behind that wasn't there, because you keep asking yourself like 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 1,000,000, like why would you be that one person? But if you keep doing that to yourself, you're not going to apply, you're not going to get the coin you need. Yeah.
I would say definitely worry about quality over quantity. A scholarship is a scholarship, period, and $1,000 is like $1,000 is something versus you not applying for anything at all. Even like those $500 scholarships, like take everything, because it's all money off. And then like Nana was saying about confidence, a lot of people think that to themselves, like why me, I'm not gonna win it. So at the end of the day, I feel like that's more fuel to your fire, because there's a lot of people that doubt in themselves and just don't apply. So don't think that you're not going to get something. That just apply everywhere, and you know, you should see results.
For me, I applied to 10 schools, I believe, and they weren't only in Virginia. So I applied to Spelman and I got accepted, but I wasn't able to go due to my financial aid packet. And the thing is that like I put a lot of faith into it because of like my living situation, income coming into the house. So in my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the money that I need to go to school. And even I wasn't able to go, but at the same time, like instead of looking at that as like a setback, I'd rather look at it as like motivation to like even do better at the school that I'm going to, and just to like maybe one day find myself there.
Do your FAFSA, please, early.
I have not done mine.
I did mine at 12:03. Okay, so SAT and ACT, I'll start by saying one thing. Actually, no, I'm not saying one thing, I'm gonna say a few things. But I do not like the SAT. I'm not a good test taker. I prefer the ACT. The ACT is a gift from God. That get fee waivers if you can. Ask questions. Like for majority of my applications, I didn't have to pay for them.
And SAT,
yeah. I didn't have to pay for them. Sending my scores, I didn't have to pay for them. And at the end of the day, like it came through, because the things that I have to pay for now.
I feel like that kind of messed me up though. I feel like not having to pay for my SATs made me take them for granted. I think I took it like 4 or 5 times, because I was just like, I'll just take it again, and I don't have to pay. And like that's like a really bad attitude to like take to it, because like people, there is, at the end of the day, somebody is paying for it, and like you should definitely like
that's true.
Be serious and like take it seriously.
I mean, just take it serious, because it's your future.
Yeah.
Because The first time I took the SAT, I was a junior in high school. I guess that's kind of early or on time.
I regret that. Start your testing early. I started my senior year.
Wow. Yeah, I think I took my second test my senior year, like the beginning of my senior year.
I took it the summer before senior year, and then the last one was like in the middle of senior year. I took it 3 times, and yeah, don't be afraid to take it more than once. Definitely. If the first time you don't do as well as you thought you would, that's completely expected, because I mean, there's a lot of practice tests that you definitely should take advantage of. I know I didn't take the best advantage of all the practice testing. I kind of just went into it and that was going to be my experience, but taking it over and over again and then knowing how the test is set up is going to help you.
Me was studying how to take a test, because like personally, testing for me, it stresses me out. I feel like I can't focus on one thing at one time in that short amount of time. Like just think of time, just focusing on other things, like that stresses me out. So I learned how to take a test, and you know, I'll put the link down below for the book. It's first week of school in college.
You had yours first.
My first week of school. You get accepted into a school, they normally have like this visit weekend.
Orientation?
Ours was like, so we got accepted into school March. The visit weekend was in April. Like a month later. So like so a lot of people like went to that visit weekend and I didn't. I also had never been to my school before. I just stepped foot on campus when I was a freshman. So I knew absolutely nobody.
Did you have a roommate? Oh.
I did have a roommate, but I don't know. That was a voice from heaven. I did have a roommate, but like we like just came from like totally different places. I just did not know anyone. But I think it was really easy to like just get to know people. Like in the dining hall, you just like sit with new people, meet new faces. That was like, I am so shy. Like most of the time I will say I never reached out to anyone first. I would just like sit down and then somebody would like come sit with me, and I was so grateful for those people because like,
right now everyone's testing out who do I like hanging around, who are the people I want to surround myself with. So don't be afraid to, you know, tap into the right kinds of people. Be very careful of the wrong crowds. So it's important to not rely on the people that you already know. There's so many other people coming from so many different places in the world. Take advantage of that and just, you know, expand your horizons.
Yeah, I would agree with basically all of that. Like, just don't be afraid, like you were saying earlier, don't be afraid to like try to like make new friends, because everybody is trying to make new friends most of the time, especially with like schools that have like such a diverse like amount or group of people in their like class that are like coming from everywhere in the country. Most people probably don't come in with like a set group of friends that they already know, so like people are trying to, you know, meet new people, and I feel like you don't have to force it. Most of the time like you'll meet your group.
I feel like it is very easy for a lot of people to stray away from their core values. I'll say like whether it's religion or like morals that you may have grown up with, it's really easy to stray away from that. If you hang around the wrong people, they might introduce you to something, and it's that whole group think psychology stuff where if everyone's doing it, as much as you may think that you would never like do something, when you're put in a certain situation, like that can all just fly out the window.
Like sometimes you like won't find a church that you like at your school, and that's fine. Just try to like make sure that you find a way to like connect with God. I feel like it's very easy to find apps on like the phone, like the Bible app, and there's like our Daily Bread app that like give you daily devotionals that you can like stay in touch with God and like have like plans, prayer plans, like Bible reading plans that will like help you like stay on track. Yeah, journaling is,
I feel like not enough people know about it. I didn't know about it enough.
I know it is. I would love to get into it. Like I just know that would like be like a really good outlet.
Because a lot of times like you'll hear certain things and just writing it down and just seeing things again.
And like it's a good way to like look back on like where you were and how far you've come. Like, I know when I like look back on old things that I wrote, and I'm just like, wow, like I was in such like a dark place, or like I'm just so proud of like all the work that I've done to like get out of that situation. So it's also good to like reassure you like with your journey going forward, because you can see how far you came. Like hopefully like you're like doing school and then other extracurricular activities, and then like religion stuff, and then like if you're doing a sport, you're doing a sport too. Like that's a lot on your plate, and sometimes like you feel really overwhelmed and you feel like you don't have like the time to do certain things, or like get your homework done, or like, you know, even socialize properly. But like if you like just plan out your weeks really well, I think like that will like really help you like meet your goals. So time management is like so important. I'm a really bad procrastinator, and I'm always like, oh, I work best under pressure. When I'm under pressure, like I'm under pressure, like that's just not sweet. Like it really feels horrible. Like
you wanna cry.
It's so bad. Like, and then especially when you get to like upper class levels, and you're like maybe like you're a senior and you're writing a thesis, you cannot be doing that procrastinating thing, because like the thesis is kind of like a book, and like if you just like wait till the last minute to do it, or like don't plan it well, like you find that like you'll have like holes in your argument, or like things are just not making sense because you didn't like plan out your time well. So time management is like a really big one, I would say.
Letting yourself, say you're writing a paper, allowing yourself to have that time to brainstorm and to like get your ideas out there will really help you like at least get a good enough paper, rather than just BSing something because you know you don't have time. But I would say definitely try and plan out you said plan out your week, right? Even if it's just planning out your day, like these are my goals for the day. You might not have to have it like from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. this is what I do, and then 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'm gonna schedule a nap at this time. You don't have to do that. It works for some people, but at least give yourself certain goals to hit during the day, and you'll be a lot more productive knowing, oh, like this is what I have to do.
And not only planning like the days of the week where you're going to school, also plan your weekends, like getting into the routine of like planning everything, even to the point of color coding. Like it really helps, like being able to see everything all together. And some people might say that's too like controlling, you never know what's gonna happen through the day, but having that like checklist, being able to cross off something, like it feels so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
Also, get a Google Calendar, put all of your tests and big assignments, major projects, put them in and have reminders throughout, because at my school at least, some professors will tell you like, guys, this is coming up, like remember. It might have been because I was a freshman and they're just being nice, but sometimes you really might forget about a test. Like I definitely had the chemistry test and I forgot, like that joint was next week and I had not studied. So if I had it in my calendar, I would have known to really be preparing for it. That would definitely help.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to like a professor thing. Like when it comes to like writing essays and like doing things like for grades with professors, I would say like if you make sure to like meet with professors daily about like things that you're creating in their class, they'll be more likely to like, I feel like they'll be more likely to like be lenient with you and like give you a good grade, because they know like that you put a lot of work into it. And then also like if they're helping you like create it, like more likely than not, it's gonna be like what they're looking for. So just like make sure you give yourself enough time for your professors to like review your work and like get feedback, so like you get good grades on the things that you're working on.
So that's all for today's video. If you guys want to see a part 2, make sure to like this video, subscribe once again, comment, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified the next time we post a video. And make sure to stay tuned for part 2. And to all my kings and queens, you don't know nothing, but I'm gonna tell you something.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
Frank get rich quick schemes. It's easy money. It almost sounds